Hey guys, welcome to the premiere episode of the DashCast. I'm one of your hosts, Dan Rizzo, alongside He Only Does Nothing, the PewDiePie lookalike himself, Chris Holmes. Chris.
Hi,
How are
how's
you,
it going?
How are you? Yeah, good. How are you? Oh, you don't like that, do you?
No, I don't like looking like PewDiePie. I don't look like him.
I'm PewDiePie.
Leave me alone, bros.
And of course, also opposite to us via a Skype call is none other than the man who brings the heat, too sour to be sweet. He's the chin himself, Kieran McLeod.
Okay, two questions.
Yes.
Why did you introduce me last? I feel a bit insulted now. And how long have you been waiting to use that line?
Well, I actually typed this about, a week ago now.
Too sour to be sweet.
God.
Yeah, he's too sour to be sweet. It's the Macho Man too sweet to be sour, but he's too
I'm
sour
too tall to be
sweet.
small.
Fucking
Well, you know.
Andre the Giant, 6'5", including a freaking mohawk. I can't believe he's 6'5".
All right.
No.
I'm a unit, mate.
Well,
K-unit.
do you actually use that size to your advantage in any way?
No. Oh yeah, I get asked all the old people. Can you reach the old brand for me? And then I've got to that's
Oh well,
that's pretty much all my uses in one.
Well, I'm 6'5" the other way, so you don't worry, we're both kind of big in some ways. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this is the DashCast. It's a bi-weekly conversational podcast where each host will bring you a random topic of discussion, whether it be about gaming or relatable life in general topics. Every 2 weeks, you can find the podcast posted on each of our YouTube channels, episode by episode, every second Friday night at youtube.com/KieranMFilms, youtube.com/HomesIn5, or youtube.dashgamer.com, or find it on its home on dashgamer.com. Of course, we're a podcast first and foremost, so our podcast will be posted in MP3 format on dashgamer.com or in the description below. You can submit your own topics to the show by simply commenting on this video on YouTube or by tweeting us at YAIM, that's Kieran, at HomesIn5, that's Chris, or at DashGamers. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook via the links below. So, Kieran, what's your topic, bud?
Oh, well, my topic was going to be Game of the Year, but I figured we'd change it to Riz should definitely be some kind of newscaster, because that was just so well, eloquently put.
Thank you.
And worded.
Oh, thank you very much.
And just the enunciation in that was just perfect.
I've been practicing.
I thought
Mate,
so.
the
He's
hell's
been
my
running the
arm
lines
standing
over
up?
all day.
I have been.
Time and time again.
I've been practicing for the past week.
I love it.
Gotta get that shit right.
Yeah.
What's your topic?
My topic is our Game of the Year.
Right.
I figured that would be an interesting topic because no doubt Chris has picked, some Sony game because he's
Call of
biased,
Duty.
as we all know.
Mm.
Riz has probably picked a PC game, but my opinion is always correct.
Okay,
And
of course it is.
I thought we could debate such issues.
Yes,
Kieran.
of course.
All right.
So, Riz, what is your Game of the Year?
All right. Oh, shit. So I haven't really thought of this. We're talking 2014?
Mate, name one game you've played in this year, and then maybe we can talk about 2015. But
Well,
2014, my friend.
Here's the hard thing about picking about 2014 is that there was barely anything that was notable to actually playing, other than... I loved Infamous Second Son. I loved that game. Like, I remember picking it up on the day, bringing it home and playing it, and I was like, fuck me, this is just awesome. I can't think of anything else that I've played during the year that I was like, I have had a great experience playing this. I'm going to go pick up another game. And every game that I picked up afterwards, I was like, you know what, this is fucking shit. There's a handful of games that I played on the PS4 that I was like, meh. There was one game that I played on the Xbox One, which was Sunset Overdrive, that I was like, well, this is shit. And... yeah, well, Sunset, the Xbox One fucking has nothing. That's the problem. And the PS4, has Infamous Second Son. I'm not big on... I know that your one... What was your one again, Kieran? Was Shadows of Mordor?
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor, definitely.
Yeah. So I'm not big on Lord of the Rings. I'm not big on Middle-earth. I'm not big on Dragon Age. I think it's a piece of shit, to be honest. But,
Whoa, shots fired.
yeah, well,
shots fired.
well, I'm not big into those kind of games. So I was like, there is nothing for me to play this year. And I was kind of bored with gaming in 2014. It was just utter shit. Like, we had so many remasters that were worth picking up other than the actual original titles that were out. That was the problem.
That's an excellent point. But that definitely happens when you get, burnout of games. But I look back at 2014 and think, yeah, games that should have been Game of the Year contenders with Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Unity, definitely Destiny just turned, flat. But I was quite surprised. I mean, obviously Dragon Age is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But I was surprised definitely with Sherlock Holmes, which I put as my 4th best game of the year. There was something about that game that was just amazing. I mean, Wolfenstein, knocked it out of the park in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Shadow of Mordor came out of nowhere. I mean, like you said, you're not a big fan of Lord of the Rings. I've got through halfway through the trilogy, and I haven't bothered to watch the rest of it because I can't stand it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't big into the story, which apparently was crappy anyway. But the gameplay definitely, was good.
Yeah.
And of course, as you mentioned, Infamous.
Yeah.
I played that as well. I didn't think it was as good as the second one, but I definitely thought it was a great game nonetheless.
With Infamous Second Son, I just thought that they did such a great job. A lot of people felt that the story kind of fell flat. I felt that they could have done better with the story, but I didn't feel like it was a flat story. I mean, I still think, Sucker Punch really bring out some of the best stuff when they actually produce their content. They got Infamous, they got Sly Cooper, they got, so many series that I can turn around and say, you know what, I can rely on Sucker Punch, I can rely on Naughty Dog. But when it comes to push and shove, at the end of the day, I mean, even Infamous, I'll admit, I thought that Infamous First Light was actually better than Second Son. But if I were to pick Game of the Year, it would have to go to Second Son based on my love of the Infamous series, the gameplay element to it. I loved, but I loved the story. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree the story was good, definitely.
I was a fan of the story, but I think it's all up to, obviously this game was pushed out early to sell the PlayStation 4, and I definitely look forward to see what they're going to do with the next Infamous or their next game when they've actually, fully realised what the PlayStation 4 is capable of doing.
Yeah, Chris, what's yours?
I'm just going to, before we go any further, I'm just going to, make praise to Riz's April Fool's thing for Cold Returns. That was pretty fucking awesome. And that pulled some attention. I looked through the articles before and I saw that and I was like, ha, you fooled a lot of people. You even got the developer to actually retweet that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I posted an article on Dash Gamer where it was an April Fool's article where I said that there was going to be DLC released and it was going to be Cole basically being the Beast. Like at the end of Infamous 2, the evil ending, how he becomes the Beast, you basically have to face Cole in the DLC. Like it was a what if motive. Like basically, what if the story ended up the other way and Cole still lived, and you had to face Cole as the Beast? I think actually, you know what? That would have been some pretty cool DLC to be released. I think if anything, they should consider that.
Yeah.
Even though it was an April Fool's joke, I think they should consider something like that in the future because it would be really, really cool to actually see. Even just to see Cole back for 5 minutes would be cool. But
yes, it would.
Yeah.
Planted the seed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Chris, what's yours?
So I'm kind of tossing up between two games, but Kieran actually mentioned one of them before. But before I go on to that one, I've been having a crap load of fun with Far Cry 4. I'm actually really, really enjoying that game. I've gotten into it. I'm enjoying the story a lot. I think the way that you kind of put in as the character feels really immersive. It probably might sound a little bit stupid, but I feel like I'm actually developing with the character, and I don't know, it's a fun game. I'm just really, really, really enjoying how I guess you have like your different choices to work with your characters too. Like you get to choose between two of the main protagonists to move forward through the story, and that influences the world around you as well as what's actually accessible towards the end of the game. The other game though that you touched on, Kieran, which is Wolfenstein: The New Order, I had an absolute blast playing that, and I haven't gotten to the end of it yet. I'm nearly there, but like I can't describe how much fun I have playing that game. Just being able to walk around, like tearing people up with like 2 machine guns on either hand or shotguns, just like, and the story in that too was just it's very, very immersive.
If I could say anything, like, here's what I love about most of these games that have come out this year. It's actually one of the voice actors in particular that have really pushed the games into what has been undescribably some of the best performances in voice acting and pretty much mocap I've ever seen. Other than Nolan North, who does an excellent job playing Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. And I know he's going to blow it out of the park for Uncharted 4. I think that's going to be some of the most excellent work that Naughty Dog and Nolan North have done together. But as a matter of fact, this actor's also in Uncharted 4. Was Troy Baker. He has done some of the best work this year. You know, he plays Pagan in Far Cry 4. He played Joel in The Last of Us. You know, of course, we had the remastered version, but it's still such a fucking excellent game.
Yes.
He played Delson in Infamous Second Son, and he's going to be playing Nathan Drake's brother in Uncharted 4, which is going to be, you know, I know it's going to be excellent because the guy just fucking blows it out of the park. Each performance he does, I can't believe some of the performances he actually does in these games. He's such a diverse person to actually be able to pull off some of these performances. And the characters that he pulls off, especially Pagan in Far Cry 4, is just fucking, you know, phenomenal.
I could touch on that and say, like, I actually really like the character portrayed with Pagan Min. Like, I mean, obviously, the way that he looks in himself, I think he looks pretty cool. And the way that his character is actually done by Troy Baker, I actually like the antagonist in the game. Like, I know you're supposed to hate him, and he's supposed to be, you know, this fucking anarchist cunt who's, like, trying to fuck up the, or Karat that you're trying to, you know, save with your friends. But it's, I know, I actually like the antagonist, and at a certain point, I almost don't want to... Oh, I don't know how the game ends. I'm going to assume you have to have a confrontation with him, but I almost don't want to, because I just really like the character. I suppose going off of that, with the voice acting and like the way that he's done that character, and the fact that I like the characters in Far Cry 4 that much as well, I'd probably make Far Cry 4 my game of the year, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a great choice. I mean... I've played a little bit of Far Cry 4 on PC, and I thought it was, you know, one of, if not like the best game that I played on PC so far this year. Other than a few other choices, I think I've been playing a lot of. To be honest, I've been playing a lot of indie Steam games that were available for their sale, the end of year sale. But I've enjoyed Far Cry a lot on PC this year. I think if anything, it was one of the best PC releases last year, especially. I know it was released on PS4, but as I said, I don't know. I'm not finding. I mean, are you guys finding it hard to actually get into consoles at all this gen?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, especially because everyone knows I'm an Xbox fan, because that was what I was introduced to first. And I love the Xbox 360. I think in terms of UI, at least, I mean, the Xbox 360 is probably the top. I mean, the PlayStation 3 was a flop. The PlayStation 4 is kind of the same thing, but a lot more refined.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it. And then the Xbox One came around, and I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. I mean, without the Kinect, I would not be able to get to the settings. I would not be able to do half the shit that I can. I mean, the interface is okay. It's just it does not work.
No, I agree. I think the interface is a piece of shit. I think it's a complete piece of shit, to be honest. My Xbox has gathered so much dust. Like, I can probably do snow angels with my fingers in it. Like, that's how bad it's gotten with my Xbox One. It's sitting there like fucking nothing.
You guys can't see that, can you? That's the dust on my finger from my Xbox.
No, it's like we're on camera talking to each other on Skype at the moment. For those listening to the podcast, and Chris is just showing us the dust off the Skype on the camera, and we can't really see it. That's actually smart. Give us a visual while we're recording MP3, Chris. No, but it's actually like out of the three. Actually, that's a good question. Do you guys consider Wii U current gen?
No.
No.
I don't consider it. That you've got consoles, PC, Nintendo.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock against Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's just they what they can't understand is right, they don't need a $400, $500, $600, $800 system. They need a $100 system that can play Nintendo first party. They don't need Batman. They don't need Mass Effect. They don't need Call of Duty. They just need Nintendo games on a Nintendo console. And for that reason, I don't think they'll ever be classed as the same thing as consoles, PC, and so forth.
The way I see it is that Nintendo would be better off if they just kind of manufactured software rather than actually pushing out any hardware whatsoever. I think they would be better if they could work with the SKUs that were given to them. If like Sony... But that's the problem. They got too much of an ego. I mean, what was it? Sony tried that with them. With the Super Nintendo, that didn't work out, obviously. And then they tried it with what was it? The the Nintendo 64 when they were developing the Nintendo PlayStation, and then afterwards that didn't work out, and they all of a sudden jumped to Philips because then Philips said, "Oh, hey, we'll make cartridges for you," and it was like, "Are you fucking for real? That you were about to leap into true next gen gaming here? You would have been the leader of the pack, developing with Sony." And not only that, there could have been massive potential later down the line. Just say, like, there's an alternative timeline here and say, okay, no problem. We got the Nintendo PlayStation 4 out. Nintendo would have been leading the charge of some of the best games out, in the current gen. But at the same time, I think their egos would have gotten the best of them, and we wouldn't see such titles like Uncharted and Infamous and all that other stuff to come out because, Nintendo's ego would have gotten the best of them in terms of they would have split a long time ago. Sony would have still had to go off and create their own studios and manufacture their own games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon and fucking, all those other fucking characters from the PlayStation 1. And we still would have had Super Mario and Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers on the other system. So it's like, no matter what, even if you were to see it, Nintendo's ego gets the best of them in either way. And that's a big, big problem. And it's going to bite them in the ass in the future. I can see this happening. But as for now, they're actually going okay, I guess.
They're not losing money.
No.
I don't think.
Oh,
What's it?
well,
I think
Yeah, go
Not
on.
much.
I think they were right to have their ego with the Super Nintendo because that was the best console of its time. The original Nintendo, the best console of its time. The Nintendo 64, arguably the best console of its time. And then the GameCube came out, no one really bought it, and then they fizzled, and then they had the Wii.
Yeah.
And it had this great success with the the old people and the mums and all that stuff. And then they had the Wii U, and they tried to essentially reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
And that's where it's come back to bite them in the ass. Because you look at casual people, and even though it seems insane to you and I not to be able to differentiate a Wii and a Wii U, you look at the casual market and they go, well, I've already got a Wii. What's a U? I've already got that. As long as they can play Wii Fit and occasionally play Mario, that's all they're going to play.
Yeah. Oh, look, I run into that all the time. That's the problem. Their marketing strategies are fucking stupid. I mean, who would actually... Honestly, the Wii was such a great success. Wouldn't you just sit back and go, well, I think this is what they're thinking. The Wii brand is perfect. Let's capitalize on how many millions of consoles we sold with the Wii name. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to sell another, 77 million on the Wii U if we name it Wii U. Are you dumb? Are you just fucking stupid?
Talking about marketing, like, Kieran, do you have a Wii U?
I do.
You do? Riz, have you got one? Oh, yes, you have a Wii U.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
I got two.
Like, okay, so, Kieran, why did you buy a Wii U? What sold you on it?
I have too much disposable income.
All right.
Number one, and I had the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and I never had a GameCube or a Wii, so I thought I got some catching up to do.
Okay.
And
So what, you just went out and threw money and said, here, Nintendo, take my fucking money?
yeah, pretty much.
Why?
Because sometimes it pains me, but sometimes you don't want to play Elder Scrolls. You don't want to play Call of Duty. You just want to sit down and play an awesome Nintendo game.
Right. But is there anything awesome enough to actually make you go out there and spend that much money on a Nintendo Wii U? Like, just say, Nintendo Wii U's right now retail at $4.19. They're pre-installed with Mario Kart 8. Does that sound like a bargain to you?
No.
Exactly.
I hate Mario Kart. Okay. This is I hate Mario Kart and I hate Super Smash Brothers. I've never understood any draw in any of them.
Yeah.
I'd like Super Mario. What is it? Mario 3D Land or World or whatever it is on the Wii U.
Yeah, but Super Mario 3D World.
And Donkey Kong.
Right.
I love those two games. Are they worth $400 something? No, they're not.
No, not at all.
But so you look at the Xbox One and you look at the PlayStation 4, and if you like, there is no game on there to me anyway that's exclusive that would make me go, oh fuck, man, I really need to buy that console.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton of multi-platform games that I really need to run out and buy that console, and that's what sells consoles. Nobody wants a console just to play exclusive games.
Right.
That's just there to say fuck you. We've got this.
What if it was
at the moment?
What if it was a physical copy?
What do you mean if it was a physical copy?
So I said pre-installed, $4.19, right?
Yeah.
So if I said $3.99 physical copy,
I wouldn't change my mind at all, really. I mean,
No.
well, hold on, Chris. You bought yourself a Wii U. physical copy of Mario Kart 8. How much was it?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember now. I think it was it $3.89 or something like that?
It would have been $3.99 at the time.
Yeah, around about that. Yeah.
Right. So what made you do it?
Oh, see, I wanted to go through everybody and then talk about why I wanted to buy it. All right. Well,
Yeah, but hold on. Why?
The reason I bought the Wii U was point number one from Kieran. I have too much disposable income.
Right.
But the other reason was I had a very interesting night at a friend's place playing New Super Mario Bros. U, which involved probably one of the most fun drinking games I've ever played. And after doing that,
you've turned Mario into a drinking game.
Well, okay. So do you know New Super Mario Bros. U? You know the game?
Yes.
Have you played it, Kieran? Yeah. So the game is basically every time you die, you have a drink, and if you use a continue, you finish your drink, and if you go into a bubble, you have a sip as well. Like it's like you have to play the game and not fuck up. But basically, we played about.
I thought it was a slappy.
No. You get drank very, very quickly, and I had a lot of fun playing it. And after doing that, I thought, you know what? I have PlayStation 4. I've got 2 controls. I've got an Xbox One. I have 2 controls. I have the Wii U. I now have 4 controls, and I think it was. I just wanted a console that I could have fun with friends with, and I've had a fair few people over, had some shenanigans, and that's probably the sole reason that I bought that platform. For fun times.
For me, I'm a Nintendo fan, like a huge Nintendo fan. You guys know that, and I'll when it comes to Super Mario, I'll do it. But you know what? I'll admit, I'm disappointed. I am hugely disappointed by Nintendo, and look, I'll be honest. I was strictly a Wii guy for a long time before I actually purchased a PlayStation 3, and I think it was in 2008. I'm gonna say is when I purchased PlayStation 3. I had the Wii. I had the Wii since the launch date in Australia, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm content. I'm fine. I got so many games coming. I got Mario Kart Wii. I got Super Mario Galaxy. I got New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I'm fine. I'm happy. No, I wasn't. Because as soon as I jumped over to the PlayStation 3, I was a lot happier.
Yeah.
I was a lot happier. I found out...
See, go on. Do you think that's because, like, I'm assuming, like me, you grew up with Nintendo. And you might have played Grand Theft Auto or Final Fantasy or something at somebody else's house that had a PlayStation or whatever. Yeah. And you're like, oh, this is okay. But then as you grow up, you're like, okay, I understand the story, I understand the themes, and so forth, so on. And then the Wii doesn't appeal to you, or Nintendo games don't appeal to you as the go-to.
Yes. I think that's the problem, though. See, that's the problem with Nintendo now and their brand, is that they're not the go-to anymore. And they were the go-to. I mean, when you're like, let's play Nintendo, it was, let's play video games. You know, it was for a long time that, your mums would say, oh, you'd be playing PlayStation, and it'd be like, oh, what are you playing, Nintendo? So, it's just a case that that's the problem now, and they're not the core focus anymore, and that's what people are upset about, and that's why they're no longer actually the main appeal in video gaming. I mean, I can't count the amount of times that I see a 5-year-old in a shop with their mum at EB Games or JB going, hi, Mum, I want to buy a PlayStation 4 with Grand Theft Auto 5 and da-da-da. It's not, hey, Mum, I want to buy a Wii U with Mario Kart 8 and New Super Mario Brothers, because it's not the main focus anymore.
It's the cool thing to do.
Well, yeah, but it's also
like
their campaign.
It reminds me of the N64. I remember so many people at my primary school being like, yeah, N64 and Smash Bros. And Mario Kart and GoldenEye, and then there's me going, Crash Bandicoot on my PS1. And I got shunned so hard for it, but I still love my Crash. But crystals, of course. But yeah, I got shunned a lot for that, and Nintendo 64 at the time was like the cool kids thing to have, and it seems like now like Xbox 360 was the thing in high school, now PS4 and Xbox One are kind of the thing to have now.
Yeah. What kind of kid?
I would argue for kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, you look at go through all the consoles is in terms of generation. You've got the Nintendo original generation. Yeah. What gimmick did it have? Nothing.
No.
Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, that's the next generation. Anyway, the Super Nintendo, no gimmick.
Yeah.
N64, PlayStation 1, no gimmick. GameCube, Xbox original, PlayStation 2, no gimmick. And now you look at your kids and they're thinking, I've got this fucking tablet thing that if I break, I can't buy another one.
Yeah.
There's an Xbox and it comes with this NSA tracking camera bullshit.
Yeah.
The PlayStation with that horrible, disgusting
NSA.
trackpad thing.
Yeah.
And the kids must look at the Wii U and think, fuck this shit.
Yeah, well, that's the
I
thing.
can't-
They do. They do now.
I can't understand that they don't
The
resell
original
them.
Wii,
One of you's
Yeah, I
talking.
Go, Kieran.
I don't
go.
get it either. Oh, it feeds into your point. But anyway, they look at the Wii and think, I haven't got enough room to do this waving my arms around bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're talking.
They
Wii.
just want
I'm
something
sorry, I was
simple that
thinking
they
of
can
the-
play. And if they break,
Yeah.
I can buy a new one. I
Yeah.
can buy a new controller. If
Yeah.
you break that fucking piece of shit phablet thing, you're screwed.
They don't resell them at all, do they? Can you get them
No,
repaired?
no.
Can you get
No, you
them?
can't. Well, the way it works, I know that JB, the way they do it is they offer you a replacement for 2 years. Like, oh no,
full-
sorry.
like
What they do is they offer replacement for 30 days after purchase. And then after you get 12 months manufacturer, you're on your own with Nintendo unless you actually buy their extended warranty, which covers you for 24 months.
Right.
So-
Okay. So if you like hypothetically throw your Wii U tablet through the window and like completely fuck it up, you
Yeah.
essentially have to explain to Nintendo why it broke and can you get another one or buy a new
See,
console.
that's the thing. You can't. They won't do it. They only manufacturers only covers you for
faults within the product of its own accord.
that's right. Manufacturers' faults. That's it.
Fucked.
That-
I can't.
Yeah,
So how do you get another one? How
they
much of a
they
gimmick
repair
is that?
yours. They don't give you a new one. They repair yours, or they give you a refurb.
That's crazy. You
Yeah.
think that they'd
That's
sell it?
ridiculous.
Well, PlayStation do the same thing, and so do Xbox. So do Microsoft.
Yeah,
But Microsoft
yeah.
offer 24 months standard.
Yeah, I mean, like they refurbish the console for like Xbox and PS4. Or they give you a refurbished one, or they fix your one. But like that
Yeah.
tablet being something that's, I guess, a controller in itself. Like you'd think that they'd actually sell that as another control and be like, I don't know, I could have one of them on charge. While it'd probably be really expensive, you could have
It's a
one on
selling point.
charge and
It's-
have a second one on the side. Like you know, swap between them. That'd be
It's
kind of cool.
It's a great selling point for a salesman who's trying to make their commission based on an extended warranty that they're trying to sell you. When they turn around and say, hey, you should get this and this and this because, if your kid breaks the tablet, then you're fucked. So, yeah, it's just a case that salesmen must love that. But at the same time, they can say that about the Xbox and the PS4 at the moment. I mean, they have their faults as well. You got the grinding disc issue within the Xbox that still happens, which is kind of fucked. And you got the pulsing blue light of death on the PlayStation 4, which is fucked as well.
On the
so.
disc and the thing spitting chips and like spits out your disc every now and then too.
Yeah, it spits out the disc too. Hey, you know about that too.
Yes, I do, and I freaked out super hard.
Yeah, I know.
But I fixed it.
Yeah, well, the Wolfenstein that night playing it, he's just like, he's sitting there, Kieran, and I was watching him, and he was like, oh, I'm going to play some Wolfenstein. All of a sudden, the disc spits out, and he's like, my disc spat out. I'm like, see, I told you, you're fucked.
I
Anyway.
wasn't happy.
That's nothing. I remember on the old Windows 98 machine, I could have dreamed this, I will admit, but I swear to God this is reality.
Right.
You know those crappy, like, 1001 games in one kind of discs as they used to have back in that day?
Yes.
We had the old shitty machine, and I wanted to get the disc out, and I turned the computer on and just started mashing the disc eject button. And the computer panicked, spat the disc out, and the disc started spinning. It flowed up and then fell straight back down. I don't know if I was dreaming that, but that I could have got decapitated.
Fucking
That's,
hell.
that's the moral of the story.
I'm just going to
Jesus.
quickly pitch in here and say we're approaching the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, it's all good. That's what I was about to say. Hey, Chris, what's your topic?
Great minds. All right. Well, my topic is pay-to-win games and what our opinions are on them as a whole. So, like, right now I'm going to think of, like, off the top of my head right now, because I haven't thought about this a great deal. I've had other things on my mind. But one of the games that I can think of... One of the games that I can think of is... and it's not necessarily entirely pay to win, but if you want the good shit, Blacklight Retribution, that is on PC and PS4. And if you jump into that game with standard guns and crap that you handed at the start and go, here, go play, you get shat on gratuitously. And to actually grind up and get the points you need, you're going to have to put a lot of time into the game, and it just makes it a pain in the ass. And the only way to really get any progress quickly and to actually have fun playing the game is to spend real money. And that bothers me. Those kind of games, I like Blacklight Retribution. I do enjoy the game. I've had fun playing it. Thankfully, I started on PC at an early enough point that people weren't shitting on you at every left, right corner and having like better guns than you. But yeah, that is my topic. What are your thoughts on games like that? And do you have any that you can name off the top of your head that would have that kind of structure to it, I guess?
Look, here's my problem. With online gaming, are you talking necessarily about pay? Are you talking like pay to play or pay to win?
Pay to win, like basically games that make the grinding so I can't think of the right word right now, but games that make grinding up to earn your stuff so boring and annoying and frustrating that you just want to put money into it. Like games that they don't do it, they don't literally force you to do it. It's not like you want to win, buy this, or you want to kill your enemies with it, buy this. But if you want to skip the grinding and like just get something, like.
But that's necessary. That necessarily falls into DLC content. Like we're talking like that necessarily falls into, pay to play as well, essentially.
Sort of, but at the same time, like you don't. I mean, obviously you don't have to buy it though. Like as an example, like Call of Duty, you've got DLC for guns that are exclusive to actually. Like the only way you can get that gun is to pay $20 to get this big pack of DLC and get those guns. Whereas Blacklight Retribution or anything like that, as an example, you can buy that weapon with real money, or you can spend your time grinding and earning the in-game points to actually get it. And
so like true microtransactions.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it is a microtransaction in itself. Like it's
okay.
But yeah, you can earn it. Like the guns aren't an expirable item. Like I know fucking like Candy Crush and shit. Like you run out of hearts or whatever, you have to buy more to play.
Oh,
you can keep playing in this game, but if you want to play better and have more fun, it's kind of like you can either spend forever doing this shit.
Yeah, so it all falls into microtransactions. And I'll tell you what, I have. Look. Microtransactions shit me up the wall. Ever since the Xbox One really pushed it when it first came out. I remember they were like Larry Herb, Major Nelson was a big advocate for pushing microtransactions within gaming on Xbox One, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Your console itself is dying on its own, and you really want to push microtransactions onto people like that? You really want people to pay to win their games?
No.
This is bullshit. It's essentially DLC that you must have to actually complete your game. It's an unfinished product. You cannot sell the consumer an unfinished product. It's like snapping something in half and saying, all right, here's your half. You can come and get this half later if you want, if you give me another $50. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. But if you're going to make a game, complete it, make sure the full fucking game is in the disc and sell it to the consumer. Do not give us this half-assed bullshit when just giving us content that you're not going to be able to play to its complete.
Like day one.
Yeah.
There was a couple of arguments about stuff like that with Battlefield 4 as an example. I'm sorry, Jigsy, if you're watching this, I'm not picking on you.
Yes, we are.
Battlefield 4 as an example. China Rising, like they announced the pre-order bonus for that game. Like there was still plenty of time until the game was going to come out, and people argued the fact like this is like a pre-order bonus. If you don't pre-order it, you have to buy it. Why can't you just put it on the disc when we buy it? Why can this not just be included in the game? And I think people kind of got annoyed about that in itself, and just I think it kind of bothered people at the time.
Yeah. I'm honestly, I'm in more of the majority that I don't really appreciate them doing that kind of shit. I want to see complete content, released on disc. I don't believe that DLC. Look, this is the problem. I've always found that DLC content is somewhat of a ripoff. I'm not that big of an advocate on DLC either. when I see DLC, I'm kind of sitting there like, well, I wish I could get that and for it to be so, because DLC is not even really that affordable for what we get on it. It's considerably expensive. I mean, what was it? Once again, I bring up Infamous First Light. When it first came out, remember the DLC costed like what was it, like $39? $39 was the DLC.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, that's a bit expensive, but I'll still get it because I like Infamous.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
What was the DLC? Well, I didn't realize that Infamous First Light actually had DLC. I thought it was just a standalone game in itself.
No, I'm sorry. Infamous Second Son was... Sorry, well, Infamous First Light's... Well, Infamous First Light
Or
is
are you
DLC.
calling Infamous First Light a DLC package?
It is.
Because like, it was marketed as an individual game, though, yeah?
Well, it was marketed as an individual game, but you did get DLC content with it.
Oh, for Second Son, right?
No, for First Light.
Oh, okay. I wasn't actually
Yeah,
aware
I think
of that.
you got Fetch's... You get Fetch's DUP costume.
Right, okay, gotcha.
Right, but only if you pre-ordered. And that's the thing. And that's another thing. They hook you.
With pre-orders.
That's right. And they try and hook you. Even the digital... Like, they even on the digital download on the PlayStation Network, it's like, you know what? Let's hook the consumer by adding... And you know what's funny? I didn't even get my DUP costume when I pre-ordered. It fucked up the download and didn't even give me the costume.
That's rude.
Yeah, and I even emailed PlayStation Network saying, "Hey guys, I downloaded it, I pre-ordered, I purchased it, downloaded, and they even said that it installed, but I didn't get it." And everybody was, it wasn't just me. A lot of people were reporting that there was a bug, and they weren't getting their Fetch DUP DLC. And I was like, "Well, then it's not just me."
Right, that's actually kind of weird. I've never had that happen before.
Yeah, so I'm to be honest, I'm really annoyed by it. I don't like microtransactions at all.
Kieran, you've been kind of quiet. You've been
I'm
pondering.
trying to think of words to say. But I'm going to start off with Battlefield. Let's not apologize. Battlefield sucks. I'm done with it. I'm not playing another one.
You're not going
I'm not
hardline.
paying
You're
for
not
another
doing
one.
cops and robbers.
Look, Battlefield. I haven't played it, so I can't judge the gameplay. But it looks like the Counter-Strike to Half-Life.
Right.
It looks exactly the same as Battlefield 3. Not even Battlefield 4. I'm going back to Battlefield 3. It looks the same. Looks like it plays exactly the same. Oh, it's more fast-paced. They were doing this shit with Battlefield 3. Battlefield is not Call of Duty. Stop trying to turn them into each other. It pisses me off. Anyway. Battlefield, I definitely think, is a pay-to-win game. Because you can't even rage quit. This is what... Okay, this is going to sound tiny and insignificant. But one of the biggest things I hated about Battlefield 4... And one of the best things I like about Call of Duty, if I want to rage quit, I can rage quit really easily. Call of Duty, start, up, A, left, A. That's how it's done. In Battlefield, start menu. 30 seconds later, the menu pops up. Do you want to buy a gold pack? Buy a gold pack. Buy a gold pack. Buy a gold pack. Are you sure you can buy this gold pack? If you can't afford the gold pack, there's a silver pack over there.
Yeah.
2 povo for the silver pack. Try a bronze pack. And then you're thinking, fuck this shit, and just turn the console off and go to bed. That's normally how Battlefield works for me.
Well, you're kind of right. I mean, that's the thing. You're right. It's the Povo thing. They're actually, when they sell it to you, it's almost like, hey, you're too Povo to actually buy this. Buy the bronze pack.
Exactly. And I hate it. But back to the pay-to-win kind of style of games.
Right.
I haven't really been exposed to, because as many people know, I'm not a multiplayer person.
Yeah.
If somebody's playing it, you know,
yeah,
I'll play it with them, but I'm not going to go out of my way to play the multiplayer. And if it's a pay-to-win kind of scenario, I'll just probably, A, not even play it in the first place, or B, once I find out it is that style of game, I'll just give up and stop playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you whatsoever for that. I mean, it's a case, as I said, it's a case that they really push that DLC on you, and it's annoying. It's fucking annoying, especially when you actually go out and make the effort to go buy their product, especially when they're pushing it, campaigning it, and saying, hey guys, you know, we're bringing out this brand new game, you guys should go buy it. And it's like, okay, cool, I've got it now, and I'm playing it. Oh, what's that? You guys are making more content for it. oh, I thought I had the game already. Oh, all right. How much is that going to cost? That's $30 for just that piece of content right there.
Yeah.
It's a bit steep. I'm not too sure if I can afford that. Oh, don't worry, guys. You can buy the light version of it. Oh, the light version. How much is that? Oh, but I only get that. I'm gonna look like the fucking the cheapest cunt buying this shit.
But see, that's the good thing about DLC one though. Once you get burnt once,
Yeah.
you're very privy. Like for instance, I don't buy much downloadable content unless I really like the game. But back in the day, a Call of Duty map came out. I was all over it.
Yeah.
There is not one downloadable Call of Duty map that is better than any map that's come on the disc. Fact. So I'm like, why do I even bother? And no one plays it, and that's the crux with especially downloadable content for multiplayer gaming.
Right.
Especially with maps. Oh, one person in the lobby has the map, won't be playing that one, and then you've wasted $15, $20, $25 on stuff you can't even play.
Right.
Guns are different, obviously, because everyone gets forced to download them, whatever.
Right.
But with DLC, I'll only buy it if it's single-player related, like the Shadow of Mordor or the Bioshock DLC.
Yeah.
I'll buy that happily, but I'm not going to spend money on multiplayer downloadable content because you get burnt no matter what.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you guys think that PlayStation... Hold on. I'll ask this. This kind of ties in. Do you guys think that PlayStation made the right move of kind of mirroring Microsoft's membership program for their online multiplayer capabilities on their PlayStation 4? The PlayStation Plus network, kind of, yeah.
I think that they did because they like the bonuses that you get from it or the consistent perks that you get from it really make it worth it.
Right.
I'm just saying that going off experience from, I mean, this being an avid Sony person, like you guys know that I'm not going to deny that I have fucking a lot of Sony shit. But like,
you do.
Month by month, I get 6 free games just for subscribing to a membership for $79 a year, and like I get 2 on Vita, 2 on PS4, 2 on PS3. And I mean, I don't play all of them at times, but I have them there. My backlog is strong, but you know, it's bonus stuff that you get. Kieran's gonna roll his eyes, and I don't care. And
I'm hoping he's not. We got our cameras off now. I'm hoping the noise he's making is a sigh of "fuck, I hate what I'm hearing," or it's not. Oh god, I'm sexually pleasuring myself here.
Cameras are off and the Vasso's out.
God, what's the problem?
The problem first started when Chris said free games.
Yeah.
Quote unquote free games. They're not free, I know.
Well,
and they're not really games. They're more of a rental than a game, if we're to be technical. But I will let Chris finish of what he liked with the
go on, Chris.
Oh, I don't know. Like
subscription.
Considering what you get though, like I mean, you get some that whilst they're old, you do get some AAA titles that were previously released, and if there's games that I've missed, like as an example, like I wanted to go out and buy BioShock Infinite. You guys might shun me for not playing that. I'm sure people who are listening are going to shun me for not playing it. But like BioShock Infinite, I never bought it. I wanted to play it, and now I have it on my PS Plus or my PlayStation account, and I can go back and revisit that whenever I pay for my membership. Like, I mean, it's a necessity to have the membership to play online, and I do. And I think the games that are added in are just a perk. And I think comparing PlayStation to Xbox, I think PlayStation have done a better job at marketing the membership. Xbox has got their games with the gold thing, but like I know that it comes out every month, and I don't think I've gone through and picked up a single Xbox games with gold game because I don't really care. And they're all like indie games or arcade games as far as I've heard.
See, that's the problem. They don't, for PlayStation 4, they don't offer those AAA titles that they would on the PlayStation 3. Now, granted, they're actually kind of like throwing you a bone with the PlayStation 3 and offering you those AAA titles for free. I mean, what was it? They had Uncharted 3 not that long ago for free on the PlayStation Plus. You know, you essentially could play the whole game for free. And like as Kieran said, it's kind of a rental, but you get it, you rent it for a year, and if you lose PlayStation Plus, hey, that's it. End of story. You don't have it anymore.
Thinking about that. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, thinking about the rental thing, like if you get the membership, if you pay for a whole year, obviously you can go 1 month, 3 months, 12 months. But if you pay for even 3 months, like you could finish a single player game. If you like the campaign of a game, you could finish that in 3 months, no problem. Like if you rent a game and get, how many is that? That's 6, 2, 4, 6. You get 6 games. Yeah, within a month to play under that membership, and that I think how long is it? How much is a month or 3 months? Like $40 or so.
For 3 months, it's no. Yeah, you're right. It's $39.95.
$39.95. Yeah, so it's $39.95, and you get 6 games added to your account, and that's I mean, 6 games over 3 months, considering the amount of free time that some people have. I think that's a pretty sweet deal. I think if you finish those games and you play them and get what you can out of them and you enjoy it, I don't think that's a bad thing to rent the games for that long.
Yeah.
And get what you can out of them.
Yeah. What about what do you think is $69.95 for 12 months? Do you think that's too much?
I think it's how much does Xbox charge? Xbox is $90, isn't it?
$79.95 for 13 months.
$79.95.
Mate, if you're buying Xbox Live or PlayStation Network subscription locally, you deserve to pay $1,000.
Well, hold on a second. Wait,
well,
what
you
do you
can't
mean
with
locally?
you can't buy a US membership for PlayStation because the codes won't work.
No, but what do you mean locally?
Within the country.
Okay, so you're telling me that anybody who buys them at a JB Hi-Fi deserves to be paying $80?
Yes.
Why?
Because you go on to, I think it's, I can't remember the name of it. It's something like codes.net or something.
I thought you were going to
Go on
plug
there.
Oz Gamer Shop for a second there.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to plug Oz Game Shop for sure.
Oz Game Shop as well. They do it.
He's going to do it.
But there's a website. It's like game codes or something like that. And you get 12 months of Xbox Live.
But not everybody knows that.
It's not one of those code places that spams your Instagram and it's like, check out my profile for cheap membership.
No,
Yeah.
not one of them.
Okay,
Trust
good.
me. It's in America or whatever, and you pay, I think it's like $49.
Yeah.
And you pay $49, and within 24 hours, you get the code.
Yeah.
You put it in, and it works.
Yeah, but hold on. Can you use it on yours here?
Yes.
Oh, so you
I
can
use it
you can
on my local Australian account.
and you
Yes.
actually purchase them for $50 for a whole year.
Yep.
And it's 12 months on your Xbox.
Yep.
What about
all right.
PlayStation?
My argument to this is not everybody knows this, Kieran. That's the thing. You're going to get the average consumer who doesn't know this, and they're going to go into a JB. They're going to go into an EB game. They're going to go into a local post office and or a Coles there, and they're going to pick up, 12 months on an Xbox One for $79.95. The 12 months, the 13 months, whatever the fuck it is. They don't know this shit because they don't do their research. There's a lot of mums out there who go into these stores and buy these things for kids these days. Here's the problem. The average gamer is 35 years old. Granted that they actually take care of themselves to actually go buy this shit. Not that they go get their fucking girlfriends to go buy it for them, which they do. So my argument to this is that not everybody knows how to do that, Kieran. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how do I word it? For people like you and I
Yeah.
and Christabel
Hello.
and other people, and this is our hobby,
Yeah.
right? It's Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus,
Yeah.
sadly, are kind of a necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
So of course we're going to look obviously for the cheapest option.
Well, yeah, we are.
But I would not pay
Yeah.
$80.
I don't even know how that's legit.
for a subscription service.
Yeah, I don't even know how you're paying that for it to be legit. I've never actually heard the service actually be cheaper than what it is.
Yeah, that's what I was shocked about. It's basically paying less money for something that costs much more money. It's like buying a PlayStation, as an example, it's like buying a $50 PlayStation Network card for $35. Like you're paying $35 for $50. Like it's like trading in money. Like it's.
Okay, I might have misspoke. I'm just using it as a general price because I believe that's how much Xbox Live is in the States.
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
$49?
I think it's it's $59, isn't it? $60.
Okay, well you pay the US price then is what I should.
And it still works on your Australian account.
I'm telling you right now, it does. It's
Wow.
it's what's the website name?
He's going to come up with it now on the top of his head in the middle of a fucking podcast.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's something like codes.
Try not
net or
feather
something.
in your fucking chin where your brain is. Fucking hell.
Shots
can't-
fired.
It's fuck. No, can't think.
Yeah,
of
don't worry about it. Look, look. As I said, my point is that not everybody knows how to actually Google this shit, Kieran. And as I said, the average gamer has their girlfriend or their mum these days. I'm not talking about the hardcore gamer like us, like like me, you, like Chris, and like the many of the people that are listening to this. Not the hardcore gamer. I'm talking about the average gamer, the average. And you know what? The core of the gaming market now is the average gamer, and that's the problem too. You're going to get a lot of the average gamers, and that's also why development and marketing and campaigning is complete shit now within the gaming industry because they aim and they strive for that casual and average gamer. They don't look at us and say, "Oh, hey, maybe we should aim for that hardcore game." That's why we only get like in the middle of the year we get here's Far Cry, and then here's Mortal Kombat. We get it once every fucking 6 months, a good game thrown at us, and we get piles of shit in between like fucking Angry Birds on the Wii U. Because, for example, Nintendo, this is a perfect example. Nintendo still offer free online. So their online services are free.
Yeah.
Kids aren't going to be playing online, and that's how they appeal it too. You can't play... The only games you can play that are first party from Nintendo that are online at the moment are Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 8. That's it. You cannot play any other... Hold on, I'm trying to think. Is there any other game? No, that's it. You cannot play... Other than those two, you cannot play any first party Nintendo manufactured titles online, right? Now, the reason being is because they're a kiddie-based company. Kiddie-based developer. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for that one, but the fact of the matter is that you can't deny that their market is for kids.
You can definitely tell their market's for kids by the way their friend request system works. Like, you have to add somebody from both ends.
I actually don't have to do that anymore on the Wii.
Oh, they changed it?
Yeah.
Oh, lordy. Okay, good. Because I remember the friend, like, you had to have, like, a 20-digit code and then have both people add it. Like, that, to me, like, I understand the reasoning for it, but that bugged the crap out of me when I got a 3DS. And people like, you want to trade? Like, yeah, what's your 20-digit fucking barcode? Christ.
No, that's changed. Look, Nintendo's online services are free. Why? Because they attract the casual gamer. They're not going to have... the hardcore gamer... Well, here's also the thing. They could easily get their mums and dads to buy them a Nintendo Premium membership for their online gameplay for Smash Brothers. It would be so simple. Nintendo would be banking on that shit, right? But they don't. Because Nintendo aren't... Like, as I said, their core market are for kids. Now, for the Xbox One and for the PS4, they're adults. Now, here's the problem. Within Australia, we've got to admit that when people go in to buy PlayStation 4, a lot of the casual gamers, the casual gamer will go in and say, "Hey bro, can I buy PS4 today with FIFA?" So it'll be, and it's the truth. So how do I buy FIFA points? And the salesman won't turn around and say, "Oh, you can buy them cheap online." No, they will turn around and say, "You can get them by buying this." And they'll hand them a PlayStation Plus account card, which is $69.95, and then they'll turn around and go, "But you'll also need this, which is a $50 PlayStation Network gift card." Right? That's how they sell it. That's how they do it. And you're not going to get the salesman turning around and saying, "Oh, you can go online and get it cheaper." That's how they do it.
They want to make bank, bro.
Right, because you get...
The thing is, though, right?
Yeah.
Xbox Live has always been in existence. You've always had to pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we'd go back to the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 online in every way was better.
It was, yeah.
Than the PlayStation 3
Yeah.
in every way. And that's what made it worth paying for. And then all of a sudden, PlayStation Plus came out, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I predicted it years ago that they were going to make their online you had to pay for as well. That's fair enough.
Right.
But Sony have got a lot of proving to do.
Oh, definitely.
You can say, "Oh, yeah, Halo crashed the servers for 2 weeks at one Christmas, blah, 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 blah." At the end of the day, their security software is not built on marshmallows. They know what they're doing.
Hold on a second. I'm going to argue that. Yes, they fucking are.
No, they're not. Not as bad.
Not as bad as
Sony?
PlayStation's.
Oh, well,
not
that's
as
true.
bad as PlayStation.
Yeah, that's true.
The servers, at least for me, again, this could be different if you're in the States or Europe or whatever. The Xbox is so much quicker still than the PlayStation.
Well, they got like what, a quintillion fucking servers compared to the PlayStation.
Probably, yes.
I think it was.
However,
I think it was like 13 million servers. They said when they were launching the Xbox One.
See?
Yeah,
That's
How
a
good's
fucking
that?
lot. That's a huge investment in the fact that people are going to actually use that shit too, and that's why it's so smooth though.
Yeah.
And then the free games thing, I don't think is comparable.
Yeah.
For the reason is that we've had the consoles out for like a year and 2 months. They're clearly not going to start giving away AAA games.
No.
So I don't think
Well,
that's relevant to argue. But at the end of the day, PlayStation have something to prove. Xbox have everything to lose. and that's how I feel about it.
Well, PlayStation, I'll admit, have the better indie games when they're released.
Definitely better indie games.
Yeah, I feel that Xbox One, their gold titles, oh god, what was it?
They're horrible.
Oh, they're fucking atrocious. Oh, look, which one was the one that they just released this month? What was it? iDub? Was it called iDub or something like that?
Yeah, I haven't downloaded an Xbox Gold free game in probably 4 months.
Yeah, I haven't
downloaded one.
Oh, you've never down? Oh, I haven't downloaded one since E3 of last year, which was the that one that you fucking use the tablet. The game you use a fucking tablet with I can't fucking remember.
Two Souls?
No, not Beyond Two Souls. No. It was it was some cartoon game. It was fucking shit house. I played it on one of the live streams I did before E3. The E3 stream started, on Microsoft's E3 stream, and it was a fucking piece of shit. But that's what I mean. Microsoft, their content, their games with gold content is just fucking horrendous. They were like, I remember when they were really pushing, they were like, oh, you guys want to play great games for free? Well, get yourself the 12-month membership gold, and you'll be able to. And you're sitting there like, these games are fucking awful. What am I fucking playing? And then you jump back to your PlayStation 3, and you're playing blockbuster hits like Uncharted 3.
Yeah, maybe that's like...
To me, it's puzzling. If you're a PlayStation 3 owner,
yeah,
and you're willing to spend, what, 70, 80, 60 bucks a year
yeah.
for free games.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google the price. I'm just curious.
Why have you not already got Uncharted and Infamous and Killzone and Far Cry and Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto and stuff like this?
Well,
I mean, I think now it's stupid to say, oh yeah, I'm a PlayStation Plus or an Xbox Live Gold member because I get free shit.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of them don't buy those games. Well, a lot of them that don't know what Uncharted is don't play those games until they actually get them for free, Kieran. That's what I mean.
I don't know. It's puzzling to me.
I mean,
the PlayStation 3, I get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now it's just become, oh, cool, I get something else with my online ability to play online games.
Well, I love how they... Look, I have a love-hate relationship at the moment, as I said, with current consoles, but I love the fact how with PlayStation 3, you're able to get those games. Now, granted, I've played a lot of those games already because I actually have owned those games in the past, and the PlayStation Plus program kind of came out as PlayStation was kind of dying, but I think that was like their way of saying, all right, we're introducing PlayStation Plus, but you're going to get free games on the PlayStation 3. It'll be games that you kind of have played before, but they're AAA blockbuster titles, but we're not going to tell you yet what the true plans are for the PlayStation Plus network, which, eventually became, let's mirror Xbox Gold, Xbox Live, So, that was what they... Oh, and this also rolls into PlayStation Now. I think that PlayStation Now, their service is essentially fucking Netflix for games, which is... Oh, God, you know what? A $7 fucking rental for 4 hours is fucking atrocious on its own. Who's gonna pay $7 to play a PlayStation 3 game on their PlayStation 4 for 4 fucking hours?
Yeah, I don't really understand the PlayStation Now thing right now.
No.
Yeah, like that kind of pricing seems a little bit ludicrous, and like while it's awesome to be able to play a PS3 game on the PS4, with that kind of dollar figure going against a game that you can play for that long, I highly doubt that people are going to jump into it.
Yeah.
I do think that eventually if they include that shit in TVs in the future, like if it's like, hey, you want PlayStation Now? And you've got like a 4K 55-inch TV. Like if they included it in a TV and it made it work and it came out like looking fucking good and it played well, maybe some people would do it, possibly. But at that kind of pricing, especially in Australia, considering Australia and our internet, we're pretty awful. I mean, I got PlayStation Now on my PS4 because they were giving out codes at E3, and I have a US account.
Yeah.
And I tried it. And I couldn't play a single game because our internet here was not good enough. And like I don't know how they're going to market this anywhere outside of countries that actually have good internet. That being said, we're 44th in the list for internet around the world in terms of bandwidth and all that. So we kind of suck ass in that respect. Thank you, Tony Abbott. But I don't see PlayStation Now going anywhere fast if they're going to make it a subscription thing or a rental thing for that kind of money.
No. And I'm hoping that Microsoft don't try and mirror anything like that, because look, Microsoft's success rate at the moment is being utter shit, and I just can't even stand owning an Xbox One at the moment. That's how bad it is. At the moment. I can't understand their marketing at all.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's just me.
I'm gonna intervene and let you be your timekeeper and stuff, but it's been an hour now.
Yeah. Okay. So, that was a great topic, Kieran. Sorry, Chris and Kieran. Fuck me, I'm lost now. All right. So my topic.
What's your topic, Riz?
My topic today is actually a little disheartening, but at the same time, kind of a bit eerie today because I don't know. Joystick. Now, I'm sure that plenty of you know. Chris doesn't know yet, but joystick.com currently went through. You know, this is the weird thing. First of all, when it was announced a few days ago, joystick.com was set to close. AOL, AOL.com, basically America Online, who owned Joystick, decided that they were going to start hacking off things that they didn't think were profitable, and Joystick unfortunately made that cut with advertising revenue being down 16% within the last year, which is a big drop. And no doubt, I mean, if I was, somebody was sitting in corporate going, all right, let's check out Joystick's ad revenue. Holy shit, that's 16% down? Well, we're going to look into maybe some cuts or dropping the whole thing. Now, granted, Joystick, I kind of enjoyed reading Joystick myself. Obviously, writing for Dash Gamer and all that has been something that I really wanted to get into. And I have, loved reading Joystick over the years, over IGN, over Kotaku and all that. I just found it a little bit more on a personal level. And then finding out that they were actually going to close this past week due to AOL's dementia, I guess, because they're just retarded as shit. I just find it that... here's the thing, though. I just found out today that this was going to be my topic, the AOL closure for Joystick, and all of a sudden it's now spun in the last hour. They just announced that Joystick is actually moving to Engadget.com/games now. So it's actually become a subsidiary for Engadget.
Seriously? Within the last hour?
Within the last hour.
This time we've been talking, that's been announced.
In the last hour that we've actually been talking, they have closed and reopened on Twitter.
You need a new topic, Riz.
Yeah, this is the bad thing. I actually was going to bring this to the table and say, hey, Chris, so Joystick is closed. What's your thoughts? And now I'm reading it, and it's apparently Engadget has bought out Joystick. And all of a sudden, their Twitter account handles change, like the display pictures change. Now I'm fucked. I have my topic has been completely screwed over. Okay, so all right, so this will be my topic then. My topic today is, what are your thoughts on the gaming industry and its news? We're talking about news websites like IGN, Kotaku, Joystick, and all that. I know, Kieran, you're definitely going to have some thoughts. What are your thoughts on basically these websites and how they actually campaign and commercialize and basically show off gaming instead of how we show off gaming on YouTube?
I'll go.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry.
Right.
Go.
Here's what I've learnt.
Yeah.
Being on both sides.
Yeah, go on.
In terms of, you've got the publisher.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You've got the publisher.
Yeah.
The traditional website or magazine journalism.
Yeah.
And then you've got YouTube people.
Yeah.
YouTube people,
Yeah.
in terms of numbers, are destroying traditional journalism.
Yes, they are.
Because it's easier, it's quicker. Nobody wants to read your bullshit. They'd rather just sit there and watch something.
Yeah.
And they're sensitive about it.
Yeah.
However, the publisher doesn't know this yet.
No.
And they're all buddy-buddy and married and in relationships and stuff with the journalists.
Right.
This is a fact.
Yep.
This is a fact.
Yep.
And that, I think, definitely affects stuff.
Yep.
And they still look down on the YouTube people despite the fact that, look at it. Look at it. Look at. I mean, I guarantee. You look at IGN and their top video review of like 100 million or whatever it is for Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
More people watch that than Reddit.
Yep.
Nobody reads reviews anymore. Nobody reads previews. Nobody cares. No. They get the scroll wheel, go all the way down. Oh, this game got a 6. I'm not going to pick it up anymore. Right. I think it's insane that a website or a YouTube or anything really has the ability to tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I hate about numbers. Like I don't know. Riz knows this. Like, if I ever do like a review, not so much on games, but if I ever do a review on something on my channel, I outright refuse to give something a figure out of 10 because I think it cheapens the review. I think it's a strong influence in something that can very much deter somebody or very much influence somebody to go out and buy said product. And I think that somebody's opinion as a whole and the way that they interpret that should be the way that they go ahead and look at that. And that's probably why, I just hate a number figure being what comes down to it. And like, as you're saying, Kieran, as people scroll down, they look at a number and they're like, oh, this game got a 5 or a 6. That must suck ass. Or anything above 7, they'll go out and buy. That's what I'm against. And that's why I personally don't do that. And that's what I don't really like about written reviews and at times video reviews, that people give something a number.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about numbers is, is they're completely useless.
Exactly.
I've made a video about this. It's okay. For instance, this is what shits me.
Yeah.
A game like Grand Theft Auto 5, I believe it was, got an 8 from GameSpot.
Yep.
That's a good review.
Yeah.
A game like NBA got an 8 or a 9 or something. How can you compare Grand Theft Auto and a basketball game? Oh, Kieran, don't compare them. Why would you? Then if I don't compare them, the number system is useless.
Right.
It means nothing.
Right.
You have to compare it to something. And it's, that's a company's review by one person.
Right.
And then people get the shits. Oh, this is just one person's opinion. That's what a fucking review is.
Yeah.
I think if you were to have numbered reviews, if you insist, then I would insist in getting everyone that's played the game in your office or magazine or website or whatever to have their own number and then aggregate it.
Yeah, make an average, yeah.
But I don't agree with numbers, but they'll never go away because that's what sells copies, that's what gets people paid, and that's what gets websites views. So,
well, I'm going to disagree with you both. I think that the number system's perfect.
Yeah,
no, I'm joking. I think.
Oh man.
No. Look. I think. I don't think it's perfect. I think there should be some sort of rating system in general. I mean, as I said, I do love Joystick. I love the fact that they kind of try to differentiate themselves from other websites, in terms of how they rated their own. Look, this is actually something I love about Kotaku as well. They don't have a rating, but they still, well, they technically do. They don't have a numbered rating system. They have a rating system of a yes or a no, which is something I like. It still gives you the general, it's like a kind of like a TLDR kind of thing, where you scroll down, yes or no. And I mean, every website has that. You scroll down IGN, if you see that it's above a 7, good job. But here's the thing. If I'm somebody who's like that sometimes with some games. Like, I want to know what the score is. I want to know what they thought of the game. And, I mean, there are some games out there that obviously have been reviewed by certain websites that have had their ratings kind of... Like, for example, Greg Miller from IGN rated Uncharted 3 a perfect 10 out of 10. And he always stands by it. I personally can't say that it's a 10 out of 10. It's not as good as Uncharted 2. But here's what I still think that at least a 5 out of 5 star rating on a video game should exist in some sort of way. So that at least when you're actually going to see what what game it is, like everybody goes to Metacritic anyway these days to kind of see what the gathered rating is anyway. They got to see the roundup on what everybody thought anyway.
Metascores.
Everybody goes to Metacritic to actually see it now. They don't visit individual websites anymore to see what they thought. Nobody gives a rat's ass what this person thought of the graphics and the textures were just fantastically awesome, and you should just check out and sit there and see them for 10 minutes as the sand across the aisles brush along your legs. No, who gives a shit about that? They just want to know what you thought of it and what was it out of 10. I'm personally one of those people. I want to know what the rating was out of 10. That's all.
But see, there's the thing about this is what you look at when you review a game, right?
Yeah.
The Last of Us is a good example.
Yeah.
A controversial opinion.
All right.
I don't think it's that good of a game.
What?
Let me finish.
Why is that, Kieran?
In my opinion.
Oh no.
But
It
if
is
you
one
look at it
person's
as
opinion.
a game, if you look at it as a game, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But I personally, like Age of Empires is another example. It's an amazing game.
Yeah.
I don't like it though.
No, I don't like Age of
No, I
Empires.
don't like Age
Does
of
that make
Empires either.
sense?
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So are you reviewing it as the review, Age of Empires, 3 out of 10, I hate it, it's shit.
Yeah.
Or do you review it 9 out of 10, it's amazing, because it is...
Age of Empires?
Games, you know what I mean? Like, we all have a game. For some people, it's Mass Effect. Mass Effect is perfect, in my opinion.
Right.
So are you talking about like when people do a review that they should be making it based on what a game should be, or are you comparing that to someone's personal opinion? Is that what you're saying? Like that a personal opinion shouldn't influence someone else's?
What I'm trying to say is, right? It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But a game can be amazing, but you as a person don't like it. Does that make sense?
Well, hold on. Let me put it this. Let me ask you this, Kieran, because obviously you've had a lot of developers who have and publishers who have come to you. For example, Jigsy will come to you with a game and say, "Hey, Kieran, want to know your opinions on Battlefield Hardline? I'm going to give you this game. We'd like for you to do a review on it. Let us know." Now, do you review this? Do you sit back and review this as Kieran? Do you review this as Kieran the person? I'm going to review this. I'm going to give my honest thoughts. Or do you review this as Kieran, the guy who wants to represent his branding, KieranMFilms, his YouTube channel, and get it out there for people to understand it and, basically... Because we know your reviewing method, Kieran. You go out there, you don't give a fuck. You'll say what you think of the game, and obviously that's costed you a few olive branches, I guess. But
And gained
many.
a few.
Yeah.
Well, it's costed you a few relationships, and obviously Microsoft aren't following you on Twitter anymore and all that shit.
I know, right? My feeling.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Microsoft stopped following you because of what? If you quick tangent.
Because I was, how I was bitching and bitching and bitching
About the Xbox
about
One.
the Xbox One.
Oh yes.
And then my video called Xbox One, you stupid piece of shit. And it's not like the company unfollowed me, like all the people that I know through Microsoft unfollowed me as well.
Right. Wow. What the fuck?
I know, right? And I talk shit about Battlefield and EA games all the time, but everyone at EA, including the company, still follow me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
It's like
but
calling
it's
a kid's haircut shit and then all of his friends and him as well, like not wanting to talk to you anymore. That's
Chris,
fine, right?
Chris, did that happen to you?
My haircut's alright. Fuck. Make it the thumbnail.
Yeah, I will. But is it still a situation, Kieran, where you jump on as your brand, or do you jump on as you reviewing this?
Okay, this is where it gets... Because I've tried to do everything imaginable. I've tried to go, I don't like this game, but I'm still going to see the good in it.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of trying to... Because everyone does it, right? We've all tried to keep some kind of relationship with somebody through bullshit.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I've also tried to... Kingdoms of Amalur is a great example that I tried to put my personal opinion aside for the fact that it was a good game. And then I thought, fuck this shit. I don't care.
Right.
So instead of calling things reviews now, I just kind of put my thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I don't like reviewing games, because I don't feel like my opinion is going to be the same as... I don't like reviewing games, essentially. I like talking about games. I don't like reviewing them, because my opinion is going to differ from everyone else's, blah, 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 blah. And it's not about being... I don't want everyone to have the same opinion, obviously. I just don't want to say Destiny's a piece of shit and prevent somebody from playing it that might have loved it. So I prefer to go, in my opinion, Destiny's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But if you like a game, fuck me, I'm wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's why I've noticed that when you actually post your shit, you actually put my thoughts. You never actually say, hey, review. And essentially, I think that's actually a smart idea in seeing that, a lot of people take the term review now to heart. I mean, a lot of people actually, when they sit down and say, wow, okay, Kieran's going to review this, no problem. Let's have a look at what he thought. And that's the thing. It ends with the sentence, he thought.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, a lot of people will take that review. But here's the problem. You use that word review. People will go fucking ape shit if you were to turn around and say, well, Sunset Overdrive, what a fucking piece of shit that game was. That Insomniac Games wasted their fucking time doing it. And you know what? That's my personal opinion too. I honestly thought Sunset Overdrive was a piece of shit. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with that, and I'm going to get heat for it. But at the end of the day, I don't care. That's my personal opinion. That's my thoughts. I know that Sunset Overdrive was a piece of shit, and I'm never going to pick that game up again. Right. But
it was too, I agree.
Thank you. But here's the thing. You're not going to find IGN. You're not going to find Kotaku. You're not going to find Joystick. And you're not going to find these big major brand corporate sites giving you that. They're not going to turn around and say, Sunset Overdrive, 4 out of 10. That's our honest opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Jeff Gerstmann did it and he got fired, didn't he?
Exactly.
It's all about ad revenue. It's at the end of the day. If look at IGN, they think, oh yeah, Dying Light, maybe a 4 out of 10. Oh, what's that? We've got the banner on the website. Bump it up 4 points. It'll be right.
Yeah, and it's all about the campaigning mode, isn't it? I mean, as you said, Dying Light, they're not gonna. Well, actually, you know what? Thief. That's a good example of the opposite and honest opinion and honest reviewing, because they pushed the fuck out of Thief. I remember when Thief was coming out beforehand, IGN they had it on their banner, they had it as their background. They even had the daily fix running with like special intros and everything on it. And they were like, oh, Thief is about to hit, and yeah, Thief. And then the review came out, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, didn't the game flop super hard? Like, wasn't it? I haven't played it myself, but wasn't it like below average, like as an actual game? Like the vast majority, obviously opinions are subjective, but the vast majority said Thief was pretty average, right?
It was a terrible game.
Yep.
Yeah. It was an awful game, but it still averaged over 5. That's the thing. They still couldn't have the guts to crush the developers' feelings and say 4 out of 10, bad game. They couldn't
see.
Go on.
That's the weird thing. IGN put up an article the other day. I'm sorry to pick on IGN, but they're the biggest. Let's be honest, they're the biggest gaming website. Oh, all these crappy games that are half finished have to stop.
Right.
I don't think that has to stop. I think GameSpot, IGN, Kotaku, whoever, have to stop giving Assassin's Creed Unity an 8 or a 7. Have to stop giving Destiny an 8 or a 7 or a 9. Because who are you helping?
Nobody.
What did Unity get?
Unity got it like an 8, I'm pretty confident.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect
Do not quote
to
me,
Ubisoft, but yeah, that's a
good score.
That's a very good score considering, like, for what the game was when it came out. It did not deserve anywhere near that score. Now maybe it would deserve probably a 7 or an 8, but when it came out, that you're looking at like 3s and 4s, because that game was, that game was more buggy than Australian Rainforest.
Like, I think that's a great example, and I've brought it up, right? So I brought it up on Wikipedia.
Yep.
Destructoid 7, 8, GameSpot 7, IGN 7.8, and then you have the audacity to put up a thing going, "Oh, we really have to stop these half-assed games."
Yeah, Metacritic gave it a 3.5. Well, Metacritic's got a roundup of 3.5 out of 5 stars at the moment, according to Google. Obviously, that's.
I thought you were going to say 3.5 out of 10.
No. So that's Google's little sidebar rating, basically, of the roundup of everything. So it's a 3.5 out of 5 star rating on it at the moment, according to Google.
But again, a 7.8. That's one person's opinion.
Yeah, according to fans who rated it on EB Games' website, 2 out of 5. So, essentially, we look at it, and as a proper consumer who actually plays this game and sits back and go, that's not bad. But also we'll sit back and say, you know what? It was bad enough for me to actually say that's a pretty bad game.
Yeah. But see, there's never going to be a perfect review system. Because like you said, you praised, I think, was it Kotaku?
Yep.
Of saying buy, don't buy.
Yeah.
Again, somebody's going to look at a review that says don't buy, thinking, oh, I'm not going to buy it. And they could be perfect for them. A great example is Alpha Protocol. I was really looking forward to Alpha Protocol, and it tanked in the reviews. Yep. And 5 years later, I picked it up and went, fuck me, this game's amazing. So what I'm trying to say is, what I like to do at least, and hopefully this is why people follow me, you find somebody that you kind of agree with. You still disagree with, and you respect their body of work.
Yep.
And you trust their opinion.
Yep.
Not an entity's opinion, if that makes sense.
No.
Because obviously, the games like websites like GameSpot and IGN, the reviews by people are all over the place. Like the dude who reviewed NBA is reviewing The Last of Us. I'm not saying that's happened. I'm just saying that's the span of things. So I think just follow somebody that you like.
Yep.
Because I get people all the time going, Kieran, you're a fucking idiot. This game sucks. Why are you talking good about it? And I'm like, you know.
I just call you a fucking idiot because it's fun.
Exactly. People do that. And people are like, oh, Kieran, have you never said play X, Y, and Z? I never would have played X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
And I loved it. I hated this one, though. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. All right. Quick side topic I'm going to bring in quickly. Kinect camera. Was this a waste? Was it a wasted potential, or was it just a waste?
I personally think it's not something that you need, and from what I've seen and read, having the camera plugged in actually makes your Xbox slower. That being said, I understand, Kieran, that you've said there's a few things you can do with the camera that you find a lot more fluent and faster than going through all the menus and scrolling through all the ads on the tiled home screen, which I also find to be a gratuitous pain in the ass. So it's got its pluses and minuses. I don't think it needs to be included in the box. I think they should sell it as a separate item and not included in the package unless it's at a very reasonable price.
Right.
I've found very little use for it, and I've never used Skype on it. I've very rarely used the voice commands unless I want to walk into my room like Tony Stark and fucking Xbox on, and then I'll jerk off and go to bed, and that's about it.
on the Kinect camera?
On the camera with Twitch stream. That's it. Homes of 5 Twitch TV.
Kieran,
go.
Yeah.
I think looking back, if you bought it and it came with the Kinect, especially at launch, you were very dependent. But again, if you bought it and didn't come with the Kinect, you have no other way to navigate, right? This is my big thing. Yeah. So that's what you know. So it's fine that it didn't come with a Kinect, because you don't need it because you've already learned how to go into the settings menu. Without the Kinect, I would be fucked.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
I mean, because like I said, I got it pretty much launch, and the only way to get into some of the settings, and especially to use a code, was either to do it online or say Xbox user code.
Really?
That was my problem too.
I didn't actually realize that was the only way to do it. I'd never actually... I remember doing it with the QR code if you held it in front of the camera, which I think is a great idea, but I'd never realized you couldn't go through menus to find it.
Well, no, you could, but the problem was the UI is actually that fucking confusing.
Yes, it is.
Like, it's so bad. That layout is just fucking horrendous. Not to say that the PlayStation 4 one isn't as horrendous, but it's just fucking atrocious. Like, it's so bad. You got to sit there and you got to think, okay, where the fuck do I go? Because everything fucking changes sometimes on that thing. It's like, you turn it on, all right, where the fuck is settings now? How do I fucking get there? It moved to the right of the screen now? For fuck's sake. All right, no problem. All right, I've got to go to the settings. All right, so where the fuck do I go now on this? Are you joking me?
That's why pinning tiles is my best friend, because I just go to my pinned tiles and that's all I need.
Yeah, but sometimes even when you're trying to just like update the fucking firmware in your controller, you don't even know where you're going half the time. It's like, okay, Xbox, go to settings, and then you're sitting there and it doesn't go. Fuck's sake, Xbox, go to settings. Okay, it's still not going. You want to throw the controller at the TV at this point. Fucking piece of shit, Xbox, go to settings. And then it'll finally go to it, and you're there, and you're like, all right, no problem. Update controller. Update controller. Update controller. Stop listening. Fucking. So it's like you're sitting there just talking to her half the time, and it won't bloody work. And the problem is they finally introduce some of the voice functionalities to Australia, and it still doesn't want to recognize our voice here. So I find it that it's kind of wasted potential, not a complete waste.
No.
I would disagree. I think it's a complete waste. It was wasted potential when it came stock standard with every Xbox.
Yes.
Now that you've split the market, especially this close to the actual launch, you might have, for instance, just hypothetically, say the Xbox 360 sold 10 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
500,000 of those were at launch. Let's say that's the same now
Yeah.
over the entire lifespan. You've got 500,000 people with a Kinect.
Yep.
You've got 9,500,000 going, why the fucking hell do I want to spend another $120 on shit I don't need?
Right.
Yeah.
That don't have a Kinect. So there is never going to be a Kinect-defining experience on the Xbox One.
Right.
It's good to navigate with. If you can get it for free, take it. Don't pay for it. That would be my advice.
Right. Yeah, I can see that, but as I said at the same time, the UI argument is definitely something that I can't fucking... I just can't stand the UI. If they can simplify it just the way that the PlayStation does it... look, here's my problem. And UI on systems these days, all three of them are complete fucking shite. Why can't they just make it as simple as Steam has on their PC? You go into the library, there's your games, no problem. Select a game. It'll ask you if you got the disc in it, obviously for consoles. No problem. I'll put the disc in. There we go. And you're playing. Cool. PlayStation Store, you scroll to the top. Store. There it is. You got the store. Xbox Live Store, you scroll to the top. Store. It's there. They all have to be fucking different to make sure that they're differentiated to, oh, hey, we're Xbox, or hey, we're PlayStation. Look at our colourful blue scheme, or look at our ugly black and green scheme. It's just, why can't they make it simple like they used to do on the PlayStation 3? Or on the Xbox, the old fucking dashboard. I'm talking on the Xbox 360, the one with the fucking
Like the one with the tabs,
the whooshes. Yeah, go whoosh whoosh every time you fucking go through each of the tabs.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that because it was a simple dashboard and you knew where to go. But they had to make it so fucking difficult. I mean, the Wii had the fucking channels things. And the Wii U has that. But it still looks like utter shit, and you have to use the fucking controller, the tablet controller, to actually select the game instead of, alright, here we go. Now I've got to sync up the fucking controller back to this piece of shit so it can also have the sensor bar connected, which is an ugly piece of shit that's sitting on my TV. I don't want a sensor bar sitting on my TV anymore. That's why I got rid of the Wii in the first place. I want to be able to just to select it on my television with a nice Pro controller. You know what I mean? And you can do that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, now I've got to spend another fucking $60 on a Pro controller. And that's another thing, for another topic we can bring up for another day is, expense on controllers too. But, you got to spend $60 on a controller just to make sure that you're comfortable in gaming on the Wii U as well. All these fucking UIs, they make it impossible for what you want to do. I can't fucking stand it.
Well, I think with the thing with Steam, though, I mean, if you've got the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 and the Wii with a mouse and keyboard, instantly easier to use.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's just that you have to hide so many different things, like especially the PlayStation 3 is a great example of how many menus there were just for shit that nobody ever needed, but you have to have them there.
There was a lot of menus on the PS. So I got used to the XMB, but I think the other reason I did, and I'm probably one of the minority, I explored like every single place, did the settings once, and then never touched them again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's better like that. At least, that way every time you log onto the PlayStation or or onto PC or, if they had it all the same, it'd be fucking happier world, because you know what to do. But unfortunately, they have to have, their certain branding and the way they got to do their shit. It just fucks people over and it gives me the shits, that's all. All right, anyway, so... let's end it off here. So, thanks for listening, guys. This was the DashCast. So, if you don't know, it is a bi-weekly conversational podcast where each host will bring you a random topic of discussion. Kieran's got to piss.
I got to piss so bad.
That's your fault for drinking so much. It's a bi-weekly conversational podcast where each host will bring you a random topic of discussion, whether it be about gaming or relatable life in general topics. Every 2 weeks, you can find the podcast posted on each of our YouTube channels at youtube.com/KieranMFilms, youtube.com/HomesIn5, youtube.dashgamer.com, or find it on its home on dashgamer.com every 2 weeks. So every second night, you'll be finding it on each of our YouTube channels. Of course, we're a podcast first and foremost, so our podcast will be posted in MP3 format on dashgamer.com or in the description below. You can submit your own topics to the show by commenting on YouTube or by tweeting us at YAIM, at DashGamers, or at HomesIn5. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter via the links below. And we thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you in 2 weeks.